Hello, you're listening to Wolf News, and I'm Maggie Romero, coming to you with today's news that will be covering our current crisis. I'll be starting it off with our agriculture news. Farmers in the recent years have come up with more efficient farming methods and technological changes, which is now resulting to agriculture products rising faster than demand. After World War I, prices have been falling rapidly initially. The governments of the producers' countries are now stockpiling their products. Yet this will depend on loans from the United States or Europe. When these are recalled, the stockpiles will be released onto the market, which is causing prices to collapse and the income of the primary producing countries to fall drastically. Due to prices falling, farmers are now trying to produce way more products to pay their debts, taxes, and living expenses. Prices are dropping so low that many farmers are going bankrupt and losing their farms. In some cases, the price of a bushel of corn fell to 8 or 10 cents.
This newscast is provided by Jay's Produce. Inspired by F. Scott Fitzgerald's tough-selling book, The Great Gatsby, comes Old Sport Peanut Butter. You'll get a taste as rich as the old millionaire himself, without the vengeful aftertaste of jealousy. Comes in 3 distinct variations, including Creamy Caraway, Salty Buchanan, and for those who can't make up their mind, Double Dipper Daisy. Please do not eat and drive so you are able to have full control and attention of the road. Subjects apply. Results may vary.
Here we are with Nayeli speaking upon our country's current drought.
There were 4 different drought events: 1930, 1931, 1934, and 1936. The drought first hit in the eastern part of the country and began in the early 1930s. Many farmers are in need of government assistance. Without it, they can't maintain their operations and are being forced to leave the land. People are desperate of knowing when rain would come, but unfortunately, there's no sign of it coming anytime soon. It's becoming difficult for families to have food to eat and water to drink, since they depended on their crops. The drought worsened these poor economic conditions. Without the rain, it caused lots of dryness and loose soil to rise up into the air, which formed the Dust Bowl. Who knows what natural disasters are coming our way? Be aware.
This message is brought to you by...
Tired of having to leave the comfort of your car during a movie? Ever feel like your romantic moments with your partner are under the watch of everyone else? I, Richard Hollingshed, have the solution for you. Come by to Camden, New Jersey to the world's first ever drive-in theater. No longer will you have to feel threatened by the disapproving stares of bystanders. Just drive on in and watch the newest films in the safety of your own vehicle, including Frankenstein, King Kong, and The Mask of Fu Manchu. Only 400 spots available, so come by quickly to the world's first drive-in.
Here we are with Jerry speaking upon America's bank failures.
Breaking news. Banks have failed all throughout America, losing millions of dollars. Several bank runs have occurred, causing a large number of anxious citizens to withdraw their deposits in cash. The New York's Bank of the United States has collapsed with more than $200 million in deposits at the time, making it the single most largest bank failure in American history. Many have become anxious in the security of their money. Thousands of banks have already failed as depositors withdraw large amounts of money as they lose confidence in the security of their banks. Experts are calling these withdrawals bank runs, which can simply start by rumors of a bank's inability or unwillingness to pay out funds. This is a major problem as banks only hold a fraction of deposits obtained at a time. Many families' stories have been told, and families who have not taken out their money during these bank runs have lost their entire life savings.
Here we are with Brandon Tran on the stock market crash.
This is Brandon, reporting about the stock market crash in 1929. As we all remember, October 29th was a tragic day that everything fell apart, otherwise known as Black Tuesday. Everyone was affected in some way. Farmers lost their lands to the banks. Foreclosures were a big deal. People lost their jobs and can't feed their families or even keep a roof over their heads. Thousands of small business owners couldn't secure their loans. Thousands more went bankrupt because the working capital was lost in the crash. We've all built up unmanageable amounts of consumer installment and mortgage debt because we have to take out loans to buy cars, appliances, and homes. But why did this all happen? Because stockbrokers were just circulating their money around. No one profited except
We'll be right back with you after these messages.
The food goes old in the kitchen tonight, no preservatives to be seen. There goes this morning's chicken, and last night's refried beans. The food is fouling like our faces from the sand. Couldn't keep it fresh, hope the kids will understand. To keep it good, why don't we see if we send these foods so they would freeze? A new invention for our needs. They need to freeze. Freeze your food, freeze your food. Don't let it spoil anymore. Freeze your food, frozen food. You know you never could before. Freezer food for another day. Let the dust blow on. Preservatives never bothered us anyways.
Provided by Auntie Elsa's Frozen Foods.
Here we are with Jordan Abdon on a special report on income inequality.
Officials are calling our current economic state the Great Depression. But what was it that put us in this situation? Researchers have reason to believe that the wealth pyramid has been greatly affected. The supposed 1% at the top said to own most of our country's wealth was extremely higher the past decade than it should have ever been. To make matters worse, the money they had wasn't being used very often, so the economy couldn't keep in constant motion. The old poor folks up to their knees in debt were spending more money, well, what was left of it, than the rich were. And now look where they got us. However, I personally don't blame them. Previously spoken, the banks weren't doing their jobs correctly. If you have to hold on to all your money yourself, you'd be tempted to buy anything you wanted. And that must have been what a lot of you out there did. Some people were afraid to spend any money at all. They saved their money and got closer and closer to those 1% at the top of the pyramid.
Thanks for tuning into our broadcast, folks. Tune in to next time for Wolf's News, for news that you can count on. We'll see you next time and have a good evening.